Y'all, can we stop the small talk? Not just because it's annoying, but it's actually making you look weak. You probably don't even realize it, but trust me, the way you speak is making you look corny. And I know you're not corny because you here with me. You wouldn't be here with me if you was corny. I'm gonna get into some things that you guys are doing and saying, and I'm gonna show you some things that you can say instead. That way people can actually stay engaged in your conversation. All right, and you probably don't know me, but trust me, I'm a great conversationalist, and I used to be small talk king. So I know all about the small talk, and I know how detrimental it is to the value that people see in you. So let's get into it. This is the most common one that I find, is talking without saying anything. So you're just talking pretty much just to talk. And I'm not going to say there's nothing wrong with that, but I do understand that sometimes we have to do that. For example, let's say you at work and you're on your way to the water cooler. Water cooler conversation. You see Bill at the water cooler. Bill's a nice guy. You have no problem with Bill. So on your way to the water cooler, you kind of figure you're gonna have to engage in conversation. Bill's a talkative kind of fella. So at this point, you got two choices. Either be quiet and not say nothing really, but hi, and keep it going. Or talk to Bill. Like I said, he's a nice guy. Why not? So there's nothing wrong with small talk conversation. Let's say, how's the weather? How's your day going? Anything like that. Those are perfectly fine. But what you want to do, if you want to build a rapport, if you want to have a conversation that's meaningful, or if you want to have a conversation where you can actually take some information that you could use from, just take those same exact surface level questions and just go a half a foot deeper. That's all. So instead of saying how's work today, you could say something like, "Hey Bill, how did you get into this profession? I didn't think someone like you would have a job like this, or would like working a job like this." And that way, it's an open-ended question, meaning it's not going to be a one-word answer. A one-word answer would be, "Yo, how's your day going?" "Good." "Tough." And then what you gonna say after that? I mean, you can't say stuff after that, but that's pretty much the end of the conversation. You always want to give a question that's gonna lead to an open-ended answer. So use open-ended questions. Or you can be silent. There's nothing wrong with being silent as well. You can just say hi and keep it pushing. You can do that as well. There's nothing wrong with that. So those are two options you have in that kind of instance. That's the most common thing I see that people do when it comes to the small talk. They just talk to say anything. Just talk to keep the conversation going. All right. The next one is going to be being too agreeable. Every time somebody says something, you agree with what they're saying, just to keep the small talk going. One way to be memorable is to speak what's on your mind. Be yourself at all times. I know it might be tough because you want to be accepted and you might be afraid of the reaction of your opinions, but people respect the fact that you speak your mind. Even if they don't speak their mind, people admire the fact that you can speak your mind. So try to be yourself. Don't even try. Be yourself at all times. Don't be too agreeable. Nobody respects that. Nobody likes a suck up. All right. So that's another thing that you could work on. And also, one thing that people do a lot is they just talk too much. And I get it, because when it comes to small talk, there could be a time where the questions run out because you're using the closed-ended questions, like I said, and there's an awkward silence. And when there's an awkward silence, the first one to speak, what I like to say, the first one to speak leaks. First one to speak leaks aura. You don't want to break the silence first. I don't have a problem with the awkward silence. The awkward silence means that we ran out of things to talk about. There's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you run out of things to talk about. Just let it sit. And hey, it was nice talking with you. I'll see you around, and keep it going. That's it. But if you If there's an awkward silence, you don't even know if that person want to continue talking to you. So if there's an awkward silence and you continue with small talk, now you kind of look desperate, and that's not the place you want to be. All right, guys. So to wrap it up, well, let me see. I could give you guys one more. When you do speak and you do engage in small talk, please don't speak just to get a reaction. Please don't say things just to get a reaction from people, because people could feel that, and that is kind of corny. I'm not saying you're corny, but that's attention seeking, and that's corny. Yeah, example of that is, hey, what'd you do this weekend? And then you lie and say you just extravagant when you didn't, when you just stayed home and Netflixed and chill. You don't gotta do that. Just keep it real. Say nothing much. Hung out with the fam this weekend. If you seem boring, you seem boring. If you are boring, you are boring. That's it. That's you. So, like I said, that just falls back on being yourself. All right? So, to wrap it up, guys, if you work on these things, you're going to see a difference in how people engage with you. You're going to see a difference in how people converse with you. You're going to see a difference in how people treat you. You're going to see a difference in how people respect you. All right? So just stop asking basic questions. You want to say what you think. You want to talk less, and don't chase reactions. All right? So work on those things. And like I said, the way people determine your value sometimes is the way you speak to them. All right? So you want to make sure that you're, doing a decent job and speaking to people. And I know you want to get your point across correctly. I know you want to be represented correctly. So that's why these things are important. So if this helps you out, check out this video. I'm going to link it somewhere above me. These are 5 things you might be doing that make you seem desperate as well. All right, it's your boy, Flea and Filtered. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, and you could hype the video if you so choose. It's your boy. I'm out. All right.